So I will take all.
Would you all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the September regular board meeting of the Edgar County Board. Would you call the roll, please, Mr. Clerk?
Sir, good morning. Ludington.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Ellis.
Here.
Farnham.
Here.
Lawton.
Here.
And Voight.
Here. We do have a quorum. In fact, everybody is here. Okay, we have the minutes for August 14th, 24, regular meeting to deal with. You have that in your possession. Are there any additions, corrections, or clarifications needed on the minutes? Hearing none, I'd like a motion to approve those minutes and accept them. Russ and then Andy for the motion and the second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes are accepted and approved as presented. Claims against the county, you have those in your possession. Are there any clarifications or questions on the bills? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve those bills as presented. Andy moves, Russ seconds. Any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The bills are approved as presented. County board member claims, you've had those for a few days. Are there any questions or clarifications needed? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve. Dan moves. Russ seconds. Are there any further comments? Did you have something? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The county board claims are approved as presented. Now we come to the portion of the meeting where we ask anybody who wishes to make comments to the board. We have a rostrum set up. We ask that you identify yourself and restrict your comments to 5 minutes. Is there anybody here today that would like to talk to the board? Hearing none, we'll move on to the tax agent's presentation of 4 parcels that they have sold, and we need to approve the deeds. So those 4 are listed there, so I need a motion to approve the resolution to approve those 4 sales. Russ moves. Carl seconds. Now, do you have any questions on those conveyances? The people to the right of the parcel number are the ones that the tax agent has arranged to sell those parcels to, so taxes can be recovered. Hearing none, would you call the roll, please?
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
The recommendations from our tax agent are approved. Next, the resolution approving oath and bond and appointment of John William Morris as trustee of the Metcalf Fire Protection District. Motion to approve, Carl moves. Russ seconds. Any further questions? Hearing none, would you call the roll, sir?
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
And Voight.
Yes.
Hang on 1 second, please. Hello? Yeah. Yes. I'm in the middle of a meeting. What's the net result? Go. Okay? Yep, thanks. I'll tell you about that phone call. It has to do with the courthouse construction project. And I was expecting that. I apologize for taking that call, but it was necessary. Accept resignation of Kay Fiddler, that's what I call her, I'm sorry, from the Edgar County Mental Health Board. With regrets, please. Any motion? Yes, Lisa moves, Russ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The resignation is accepted. Next, resolution appropriating funds for the payment of county engineer salary. Dan, did you want to take the lead on this? Did you hear what I said, Dan? I said, do you want to take the lead on this? I'm just having fun. Yes, sir. Did you want to make the motion to approve that?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
And Bill seconds.
Otherwise, we get paid.
Is there any questions about it on the serious side? We discussed that on Monday morning, and the funds are paid from two different sources, and we have to accept that arrangement, so, okay?
Really pay you for what you do.
Would you call the roll before this
Please.
becomes a,
Luddy.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
And Watt.
Yes.
it is approved. Present and file compliance review number 62 covering disbursements of motor fuel tax funds by the Edgar County Roads District 1/1/13 through 12/31/18. We've been going through a horrendous audit for about, what, 3 or 4 years?
5 years.
5 years, oh, sorry. So, would the engineer like to talk about this at all?
I'd rather not.
We talked about this on Monday morning, and we're all through it,
And they want to comment on it.
Mine's over.
but we thank the staff for persevering, all of you, so, and we've been involved nowhere near what you have, but Andy and I have been a couple meetings, and if your life was half as bad as those meetings were. So, at any rate, do we need to roll call that, please?
Well, you need a
Oh, I
motion.
need a motion first, sorry. Andy moves, Russ seconds. Now, would you call the roll to accept?
Luddington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Yes.
And Watt.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to let you know that that phone call was about replacing the street sidewalk on the southeast corner of the courthouse area, which was used by the construction companies as part of their road to come up to the site. We had originally had a bid to replace that because that sidewalk is ours for $6,500. And Shaggy told me that just now that he got it down to $5,500 and they're gonna move ahead with it, okay? Any questions on that? Now we'll go back to regular order. Official, officer, department head reports. Augie?
We're getting really busy with voter registration. Early voting starts September 26th.
Jeez.
Well, I can tell you, it doesn't seem possible, but here it is.
Did you have a lot of folks that returned the cards that want to vote absentee?
We've had probably 400,
Really?
yeah.
Is that high?
Well, but, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. We had some a couple years ago, but not that many. So,
Would you close the door, please? Any questions of Augie?
yeah. Oh, and I also wanted to just update you that the bid notice was in the paper for the audit, and then the request for proposal is up on our website, or at least I've sent it to Ross, so.
Have we had any requests yet?
I haven't had any questions.
Okay.
So,
When's the deadline? You know, end of this month?
October, we're gonna deal with it at the October 12th meeting, I know that.
yeah, I
much.
think it was maybe the
4th, 5th, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
We gave them like a month and a half, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, to come up with the proposals. Augie called around to a lot of our sister counties and got some of the other folks, businesses that are doing audits. And we went ahead and sent the proposals out to those folks, plus we sent it out to Whiffley.
Yep.
So, and then we advertised it. So, I don't know, would you send out 4 or 5?
yeah, I think that's around 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we were trying to, get some competition in there. Aaron, do you have anything more
I
today?
don't have anything, any questions?
Pam, do you have anything? Hi Angie, how are you? Do you have any?
How are you?
Good,
I don't have anything today.
okay. Adam?
Nothing new.
Nothing new, okay. Dina?
I'll talk, I always do. 2024 field work is done. We're calculating now the some 6,000 parcels that have been reviewed in those townships. There's 2 of us doing it, 3rd in training, so it'll be a slow process. We're just still scratching our heads. I don't understand this market at all. The minute we get something valued, it sells for 50% higher. We just absolutely cannot keep it up. But as long as we have spenders, we have lenders willing to lend the money, I don't know what to do. We may be factoring again. People, the biggest complaint I get is I haven't done anything to my house, and I say, I'm sorry, I realize that, but the market has. The market has done this to your value. Ask somebody who's bought a house in the last 2 years why. It's been rough. We just absolutely cannot keep up with this market.
Is there a service that we can
Okay, what is that?
get information from that might back up some of the stuff you're doing or help in realization that the market is moving up that much, so we don't want to run into problems later?
Right, no, the counties across the state have the same problem, it's not just us.
Oh, I know.
The counties have factored years and years and years in a row. A lot of counties aren't even reviewing properties, they're simply just slapping factors on. I
Right.
don't feel that's fair, I think we need to view the property individually, so,
Well,
no, it's
but
a
if
problem
we,
across the state.
but if we wind up with multipliers, that's an issue too, okay?
Right,
I mean, and then that costs maybe even more and it's unfairly spread over the whole county.
right, that's why we choose to do the township factoring,
Okay.
so that we can more localize those areas versus a countywide. That's what happened last year, we had the township factors and our multiplier was a 1. So that's what our goal will begin this year. But until the calculations are complete and we start crunching numbers, we don't really know if we're gonna have to. I just anticipate that.
Okay.
What townships did you do? What townships did you guys do this year?
It was the west side of the county, so Young America, Shiloh, Embarrass, Kansas, and Buck.
So if those, by doing that, you raise all that, does it affect, like Jeff said, does it affect the other townships? If the values of that go up?
We'll look at that county-wide, but if
Okay.
we see trends in areas, that's when we start localizing townships and start crunching numbers in those areas. That's what we did last year. We looked at county-wide, things were kind of skewed, so we
Mhm.
started going township by township, and that's where we found, well, out of the 15, 10 were 16% factors. Out of the 4 quad townships we did last year, 2 of them were right at spot on, 2 still had to have an 11% increase even after we've reviewed and increased. So,
The equalized assessed value 2 years ago of the county was 429 million. And this year it's probably gonna be around 480.
yeah, you're $500 million, you're quickly approaching that.
Yeah, just to give you, and when we got on the board, we were in the 300 millions,
Really?
middle. So, what, 12 years ago, 11 years ago?
Part of that increase is farmland too.
I understand, but, and that is beyond this county
Right.
assessor's control.
Right.
That is set by the state, and lots of times that means anywhere from a 6.6 to a 10% increase, automatic. So, it's, I commend you guys, it must be, I'm surprised you all got hair left.
We just, the color is changing.
Well, thank you. Any more questions?
When's the second installment taxes due?
The 27th of September, and that's last and final.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dina. And the flight, when do you get the flight information?
Ross has received it. I'm just waiting for him to process and get it on our computer so that we can then push it on toward the website.
Great.
They're complete.
Good, thank you. Adam, you talked to us on Friday morning, or Monday morning. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, not since Monday.
All right. Morning, Taylor.
Hello,
How's 911?
going.
Do you have any comments or
I
anything?
do not.
I do want to let you know that the tower has been approved for 470 or 475 feet.
Okay,
At the equal to or greater strength than it is right now. So even though it's going to be higher, it'll be just as strong.
okay.
So we'll see how that walks. And I talked to Adam about making sure that that study that you're doing included that information. As soon as I get the certificate of that, I will make sure that you guys have it from the FCC. Okay? So you have official notification. Morning, Matt.
Good morning.
How are you? Have anything?
Yes. Yeah, Sheriff's Office, last week, finally finished the new updated policy and operations manual for patrol. Sheriff signed that into effect on Friday.
Do we know when we'll be visited by insurance companies yet?
They haven't nailed down a date yet, but still possibly the 17th.
Are we looking at a 16th date, maybe still for a meeting for the sheriff's committee?
Yeah.
That's what,
I've
that's
sent
Monday?
notices out- Sent notices out to see if everybody'd be available. So
Okay.
Looks like that would probably work.
All right, that's great, and then we'll let Augie know and we'll resend out the final, okay?
Sounds good.
Monday?
Monday is 16th.
And were you thinking 9 or 10?
9's fine with me. If it works for everybody else, I'm flexible that morning.
Okay. We'll set it at 9 then, sir.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Philip, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have anything for us this morning?
I do not.
Okay, appreciate you being here.
Did you get a copy of the one that was passed in 17?
Yes, I did. August, I got it.
Do we still have a meeting that we need to have?
Yes.
Okay.
Kim, good morning.
Good morning. We do have a couple updates. We did start we're in the schools with our dental bus, so we took our show on the road. We're in our second school now, so that's going really well. And we have our first flu shot clinic scheduled, drive-through for Friday, August 4th, from 10 to 1. So you can pay out of pocket for those flu shots, or it's Medicare or Medicaid. We also will take it to different areas of need if your department needs flu shots, we can provide that for you. COVID shots are on their way in also soon for the new variant they have. Is that it?
Any questions of Kim from the
Yeah,
health?
Kim, what date was that again?
The drive-through flu shot clinic is scheduled for Friday, October 4th,
October,
from 10 to 1
Okay, thank you.
in the parking lot.
And speaking of parking lots, have you and the highway department gotten together and talked about issues? Okay,
I drove through it Monday.
okay, that's fine, that's fine. I just wanted to know that communications was taking place. Okay.
Why, you don't believe me?
Just sitting there.
All right. Now committee reports. Dan,
I have nothing.
Augie, I'm sorry. Andy,
It was looking alike.
Courthouse is looking nice, so.
yeah, they're strong this morning. They're gonna get out there and fix that sidewalk, start fixing that right away.
Okay, Good.
So they were gonna send their crews elsewhere, but they're going there this morning.
Good. So,
And you're expecting, I haven't received a sketch and you have it of the tower here, that we were gonna do some,
some repair up there.
so, but that's coming up.
Okay.
Did wanna report that we did get information back on the cranes and lifts, and we were able to, gain $80,000 back into the till for that, okay? So we had unused funds for that, so that gets tacked on, okay?
The steps look really nice.
Steps do look nice. They tapped a few of them when they were putting the sidewalks in, so I got a hold of Shaggy and took him yesterday and showed him which ones, and they're gonna probably have Autobahn look and see what needs to be done to shore them up. No, they do everything.
Those are the sidewalls on the outer sidewalk. They took them apart and re-put them back together, get them all mortared in and everything, and then put the cap back on it and sealed the cap on it. And they tapped it so that the top cap came a little loose. So they're gonna have to reattach.
Remortar or something.
Right.
'Cause I don't.
What was there,
The thing
two
that
of them?
caused the damage before was water getting in there, freezing, thawing, pushing them apart, so. This time when they built them, they put a footer under them, and they filled them, and then put the cap on, so water shouldn't have water issues.
It's the little things sometimes that make the biggest differences. So, anything else in
No,
there?
not that I can think
Well, if you
There's a
think
lot
of
going
something,
on.
yeah, it's a lot of moving
of.
parts.
A lot of moving parts.
Yes, Phil, do you have anything, sir? Russ?
Nope.
Carl?
Olga, you might get ahold of Betsy, she was at our meeting there a couple weeks ago, concerned, I think she'd drive by and see, but at least reach out to her and tell her that probably by the next week, everything will be complete and should be all right for the honeybee. She's concerned about that, so she know that we're not planning on doing anything else and everything should be fine.
Yeah, the seeding and strawing will be complete this morning and just in time, hopefully, we all need a little rain. I know the farmers probably don't wanna hear that, but a little rain wouldn't hurt anything, so. That's it for you, Carl?
Mhm.
Lisa?
Yeah, HRC 708 board met this morning, and just as FYI, Bobby Morris is had been our treasurer. Kay Fiddler took that place, so now we're kind of doing interim until next quarterly meeting, which is actually in November. We're probably gonna do a little reorganizing. But total funds that were available, they haven't all been dispersed yet. Total funds that are available through the 708 fund were $539,387 that we designate goes to HRC. There is no waiting list for mental health services. Remember when we started this a couple of years ago, it was extreme. HRC distributes fentanyl test strips. Don't know how widely those are used for those that should, but they are available, as is Narcan out in the waiting area. If anybody ever felt the need, they can just go to the waiting room and get some. We discussed replacing Kay Fiddler. We didn't make a motion. There is nobody on the board from the west side of the county. And so we had quite a bit of conversation. It would be good if we had a diversity in the backgrounds and experiences of the folks that are on there as well as physically. So if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know. And Jonathan announced this morning, he is not renewing his contract, which is up in October of next year. That position just has taken an awful lot out of him, and he said he wants to stay at HRC but not in that administrative role. So I greatly appreciate the fact that he let us all know a year ahead of time, but it is a concern, because I think he's done a wonderful job. So I believe that's all.
I did want to note that I talked to Bobby Morris, that he is going to retire. He does not want to be.
So they'll actually have two to replace, one urgently and one right after that.
But it's really important, Bobby's been on there, well, and Kay was quite an asset. I know she hadn't been on there long, but, and she wanted to stay, but she just couldn't.
How
So,
many people are in there?
7. Alan Zuber went on, he'd been on since '88 when he was on county board and got appointed through that. And he was replaced with Casey Pennell, and this was his first meeting. So we have strong representation from school.
I just received this morning a bill for the work that was done on the window installation on the 2 wings out at the War Memorial. And I wanted to pass this along that I guess some of us were aware that they were gonna do that work. I need to check with the treasurer to see what funds we may still have available and holding for that, but there's only $500 in the budget for that work. The bill is for $2,058.82. Just wanna make sure you are aware of it. We'll get it figured out and get it paid, obviously. It's from Dave. And so we did receive that in case somebody asked you. You do have a budget. I wouldn't put too much stock in the income side, but you do have, starting with page 4, maybe it's page 3. Yes. Starting with page 4 with the county clerk, you can go through there and see all of your budgets and where we're at today. Those are accurate. There are always some moving around of funds or things that have been put in the wrong place. But on page, for Andy's and the building committee, on page 15, 14 and 15, you'll see the building grounds. I was able to move a lot of those expenses out of there. Still got to figure out what to do with the trees, but whether we'll leave it in there. But right now, for example, your main fund, which is on page 15, at the very top of the page, has building grounds maintenance, had budgeted $80,000, and we've currently expended $102. So we'll be adjusting that down and assigning those expenses to another area that are more appropriate. But kind of gives you an idea on a monthly basis, and we'll go back to make sure that you have this on a monthly, or if we need to, bi-monthly basis. Is that what you were talking about, Andy?
Yep.
And then, of course, you have the corresponding cash flow analysis, which you can see here that the general fund is right on course. And still remember that we have 3 months, we're 3 months in arrears on a lot of the funds that we had get revenue. All the state funds will continue to collect and put in this fiscal year, even though it ends November 30th. Will still count in December, January, and February. Will go into this budget year because we accrue our expenses, so, or in our income. So it's from that standpoint, looks fairly good. So, are there any questions? I know I've gone through that pretty fast. Phil?
On the bills that we approved.
Yes.
I was looking at them yesterday, over $1 million. A lot of it's for the jail project, courthouse project. Who actually, does Josh and you look at them to see it's coming out of the right?
Yes, but before it ever gets there, our architect approves all of them and says, yes, we should be paying them. In other words, if somebody bills us $800,000 for concrete work and the earthwork,
Right.
which we did, he actually inspects, makes sure that we got $800,000 worth of work. And then that comes out of fund, I've got to find it, 860 at the bottom of that,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
And then we split up and make sure that the the courthouse funds are paid out of, or we use for bills on the courthouse, and jail funds are used for paying bills out of the jail. Okay? Yes, both of us do. And then Augie's also kind of there, kind of looking over, and if he doesn't see, or if he sees something that doesn't look right, he lets us know. Yes. Is there a need for a closed session today? Okay, hearing none, is there any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Russ moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Now, the meeting for jail medical will be in the